I also I'll be happy to answer that, but wanted to start with a thank you to all of you for having us here as well. We're very excited to share this information. So thank you, Maria Elizabeth, for your comments on that and your observations. I would be happy to talk about how we can drive that neuroplasticity in these children. So, as Jessica mentioned, Klein and Jones published a wonderful article in 2008 that really describes those principles of activity dependent neuroplasticity. It's a wonderful article to read if you haven't had a chance to look at that. Many of these principles are now widely accepted as this foundation in neurorehabilitation. I'm going to highlight a few of them that are most directly incorporated into LSVT Loud. One that we start with is intensity and repetition. This means what is the dose required for change? And we see if we want to have change, that dose needs to be intensive. This is different from many of our traditional speech approaches. And we talk about that in depth of sometimes we have to shift that thinking or that paradigm. LSVT Loud is 16 one-hour sessions over 4 weeks. Within that 1 month of treatment, we're doing thousands of structured, high effort repetitions. There's daily home practice and carryover. When we think about intensity, many speech language pathologists here, I'm sure, specializing in pediatric motor speech disorders, can all agree that intensive treatment is a preferred mode of delivery. And in fact, we see this reflected in the literature and in other methods such as DTTC or prompt. Intensity is very important, but as Schertz and Gordon note, intensity is necessary, but not sufficient alone for change.
Mhm.
So that's why it's paired with other principles. One of these that we do in LSVT, in addition to intensity, is specificity. What we mean by that is the nature of training dictates the nature of neurochange. LSVT trains a single motor target, healthy vocal loudness. It's never a voice, it's a shout, it's not strained, it's just healthy vocal loudness at a level we would all say is typical. This single target paradigm of voice is what really differentiates LSVT loud from other approaches, which take a multi system approach. Also, when we think of specificity, we want to train to the deficits. So if there's weakness, hypotonia, respiratory, phonatory, and coordination, LSVT exercises work to increase that amplitude or improve the coordination. This specific functional task practice is important. One of the other principles is saliency, meaningfulness. In LSVT loud, the loudness target is always tied to functional communication goals that are important to the child, such as I can be heard by my teachers, my friends pay attention to me and laugh at my joke, I can participate at the dinner table. So this is how the protocol moves beyond drill into functional carryover. Additionally, everything we do in a session is tailored and salient to the child. For example, if they like rockets, all my activities will be reading and talking about rockets with that target voice. This is one of my favorite parts of delivering LSVT loud treatment, of really tapping into that individualization for each person. And then we have complexity. LSVT loud, using this as a model, each session moves the child through a hierarchy of speech tasks that gradually get more complex, not only in the session, but across the weeks of treatment. And finally, timing, this principle of timing. Timing matters because experience-dependent plasticity is most efficient when intervention is delivered early. So when we think of children with cerebral palsy and Down syndrome, intervention in that childhood time period can capitalize on the developing motor speech system.